Hey guys, welcome back to the Beehive. I'm Honeymaker, your host. This video is going to be about what happened at the end of my campaign, or this party's campaign, in my home world. Um, this was the monster that did it, the Froghemoth. It's a really cool monster, actually. It got some good rolls at the end. Um, But even like, there's some unclear stuff with this monster. I feel like, okay, what happens if they fail to save here, right? The uh, tongue. The Froghemoth targets one medium or smaller creature that it can see within 20 feet of it. The target must make a DC 18 strength saving throw. On a failed save, the target is pulled into an unoccupied space within 5 feet of the Froghemoth, and the Froghemoth can make a bite attack against it as a bonus action. So, when they fail this save, don't they still stick onto the tongue? That's kind of what I'm wondering. Like, don't they still stick onto it? Um, Even if they fail to save? Because I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure. So if someone knows, please let me know. Uh, but I just kind of, I can't remember how I did it. I think I had it just stay grappled. What I was going to do is just have it miss if they failed to save. But I think I saw something in a video that said that they're still stuck to it. And I can't remember what it said in. I can't remember. Oh, it's not in here. I think it's on his website, right? I think it's on his website. The monsters know what they're doing. When I looked, I think I think it was him. I think he says the same thing too. But one thing both of them definitely said. I don't want to say the names. You guys probably know who they are, but it doesn't matter. Uh, this both the videos that I read this one and I watched a video about the Froghemoth. This tentacle thing, like, the Froghemoth is so stupid. Oh, excuse me. That it won't let go of them once it has them grappled. Okay, which means, right, that it'll pull them down into the water if it decides to go swimming, because it can swim and it can breathe underwater and all this other good stuff, right, for the DM to do to players that aren't uh, aren't able to figure out, is what I'm going to say, figure out how to get out of this right here, because this is what happened to them. But anyways, I kind of want to tell you guys uh, what happened. Um, they had kind of been asking to fight something pretty big, which is fine. I had set something up for them before. They totally got their asses kicked. They totally died, but they were like stuck in this dream world that I had created. So when they died, I actually made it to where they woke up from the dream, right? And um, they had found these little dragon eggs in. I didn't tell them they were dragon eggs. They just kind of figured that out. They were. One was a fairy dragon egg. I think there was a couple fairy dragon eggs. I think two, and there were several pseudo dragon eggs, because I wrote this whole little side adventure dream thing for them so they could get some companions, some familiars, right? Because I thought it would be cool if they had these little companions that were with them and everything. Anyways, what happened was is it ended up taking. I'm kind of getting off track here, but what happened was is I created this other kind of little setting. It was only supposed to take like 2 sessions. Yeah, right. Well, it ended up taking like forever because people weren't showing up to the sessions, right? Some people were here, some people were there, and I didn't feel like just giving all of them a fucking fairy dragon or a pseudo dragon when they weren't really coming to the sessions. So I kind of was waiting. I was postponing. I was kind of like, okay. And finally, I just did it. Like at the end, I made them fight some bad guy, and they all died. And um, I rewarded them with pseudo dragons and fairy dragons. I think 3 of them. The 3 people that ended up at, of course, that ended up at this last session, were the ones that actually got the pseudo dragons and the fairy dragon. There was 2 pseudo dragons, fairy dragon. The other people that came to the session later were, like, oh, that's bum. We don't get it. It's like, no. I was just like, no. But anyways, that's not what I want to talk about. Um, they were kind of asking to fight something pretty big. So I was like, okay, cool. um, uh, they got out of that dream world and they had finally gotten back to my home world. The next session, when they fought the drow, I talked about that in the other video, the welcome video about the drow fight. They, the end of that drow fight, right, they decide to not follow the map that they paid money for, that they got, that showed the way to the end, right? I was like showing the way to the end. They'd been down here long enough, in my opinion. They were kind of stuck. They were just doing big battle after big battle, kind of stuck. They'd gotten captured by the drow. They kept their base of operations was this very fake little pocket thing that I'd set up for them that was kind of like protected or whatever. But anyways, I'm getting off subject. Um, so they decide, right? They decide they want to go back to the Drow City. That's what they decided. They decided they wanted to go back there. So at the end of that session, when they fought the Drow, they decided to go that way. So I set this up, which it was pretty cool actually. Like I don't think I've ever really experienced that where I actually just let them choose. I didn't railroad them really at all. Like, okay, you have to go this way, right? I had stuff set up for them. I had things set up for them. Nothing like super crazy. I had like 2 scenes or something set up that I ended up just having to throw away, which is fine. They had 5 different ways. They had 4. They could go back the way they came. They had 4 different ways they could go. 2 ways they had never gone. One way they seen the drow come out of. Another way, their map showed them the way to go to, where the werewolves were, where they were trying to get to. And so they decided to go after the drow, right? So I was like, okay, cool. We ended the session there. They really got their butts handed to them. And actually, during that, like I talked about in the other video, that encounter lasted so long that I ended up they were almost dead. I just had the drow like retreat basically is what I did. So they decided to go. They want to go after the drow, right? And the drow hadn't gone down that tunnel. They had just come in. They had just come from that way before in past sessions. They actually went to these boats and had left. So they decided to go this way, right? So I set it up, which was nice. Like I had a week to kind of plan some stuff out, and I knew they wanted to. They had been wanting to fight something big. They had asked me, so I set up Fomorians this way, which I like I said in the other video, I'd really gotten tired of like trying to control a lot of shit on the battlefield, just all these special abilities, like all these spells to keep track, like spell to keep track of, just all the stuff I'm trying to keep track of, like how many drow are out there, just all the stuff. And you're not going to be putting 20 tokens out there. I mean, if you do, okay, I guess. But there were like 20 drow at least, so I'm not gonna put 20 tokens on a grid. Okay, I'm just not gonna do it. So I set this stuff up to be kind of like single, just like I was gonna put like 8 Fomorians here, right? Like there was supposed to be like 5, almost 6 people at that session, and what happened is everybody canceled at the end, and the 3 dudes that have been playing the most, which I hate to do this because it's like they're the ones that should be rewarded, and they're the ones who had the 3 all 3 of them. One of them had a fairy dragon and 2 of them had pseudo dragons. uh, and they're at 15th level. Okay, I made everybody 15th level before this encounter, and like all these people canceled the session. I was like, okay, and what had been going on is like people are playing other games, people are doing this, people are doing that, people are just like not showing up. They're kind of showing up here, they're kind of showing up there. I really had two solid players, really two solid players. I mean, that's not to say that everybody, like other people were had things going on too. People got shit going on. Life happens. Whatever. So, anyways, I set it up. One of the guys was going to be late to this session, so me and two of the other guys had talked. One of the guys had said, kind of like, "Yeah, I'm kind of, interested in doing other things, or I'm kind of really wanting to finish this up." And I'm kind of, would like to get something else going. And I was like, yeah, I'm kind of feeling that way too. So, anyways, I set it up. I kind of I get them to here, right, to this part where they've got three options, three ways to go. Okay, obviously it's death either way, but I really didn't want them to die. I mean, I just I don't want them to die. So, anyways, I kind of set it up and I let them pick, right, and they're kind of having trouble uh, deciding which way to go. And this was a little. They're in the Underdark. They've been squeezing through this little like thin, not even like they're not caves. I'm explaining it kind of as like really thin. They're having to walk sideways through stuff. It's been getting really hot. They're sweating. They travel for like a whole day, right? I let them rest. Um, they're running out of water, I tell them, and they know I use levels of exhaustion and stuff like that. I'll do that to them. I don't really make them keep track of rations and stuff like that, but I make it like kind of a thing like, okay, you're going to take levels of exhaustion if you go too far without, having food, having water, this and that. All of them have dark vision, you know. So, anyways, they get to like right here, right? I know you guys probably can't see it very good, but there's water here, and there's three ways, and in the water, there's like a cave basically in the water, like in front of them. Like if you'd have to walk out into the like lake thing and go swim out there, but yes, you could get underneath it, and you can see kind of like 6 inches above the water where there's this like gap. And this is the easiest way, by the way. The waterway is the easiest way, right? Like I said, there was Fomorians this way, which is a really easy combat. I think I looked. I think the most confusing thing was like the evil eye, right? The evil eye is kind of confusing the way it's written and stuff. I mean, it is. It's just I don't know. It's just worded weird, but it's easy to figure out. Anyways, it's kind of like this Froghemoth thing. It kind of has like a like you're kind of like what? Anyways, I kind of wanted them to go towards the Fomorians because I like to role play a little bit. I was gonna be, I smash you, right? So they start walking that way because it seems to be the easiest way, right? Like the way I set it up, right? Obviously, Fomorians are coming back and forth this way, right? And if I even had like some ropers over here, I was just gonna do like an encounter with some ropers too first, soften them up a little bit, and then send them on to the Fomorians. But however, they start going this way, and I have purple worms this way. So I was going to do like two, I think. I don't remember. Anyways, I was going to do one for sure. Anyways, I have the whole thing like shake, right? And I make them do a dex save or a dex athletic acrobatics check or something. And the core and the Eladrin, right, is like, yeah, no problem. Jumps out of the way. The God, what was this guy? Colossus, I think. It was a race, right? Colossus, big guy or whatever. Totally fails to save, gets hit. and I'm doing like mad. I'm like, fuck this. I'm gonna do some crazy damage tonight. So I have him do like 36 piercing damage from shrapnel, right? So now they're kind of like trying to decide. Okay, they're kind of that kind of like press the issue, right? Like let's not sit here and delay any longer. Let's move. And they couldn't really decide. So he picks up a big ass rock and throws it into the water. Uh, because they were kind of leaning towards going this way. And he's like, well, wait. And he takes a big old rock and throws it into the water, right? Like this big rock. So I'm like, okay, once you start doing that, you start hearing some music, right? Coming from over here through the tunnel. Because they were really interested when I set it up. They were really interested in the water in that like tunnel thing, but they weren't too sure about going that way. The other way where the purple worms were, I told them it was more of squeezing in. They were going to have to squeeze in and walk through the side, and then it was going to open all up, right? Because the purple worms aren't going all in here, right? The way I set it up, they're not in here. They're like over here in some other caverns that are like off. But the activity from the purple worms is shaking this stuff, right? So, anyways, they're like, okay, fuck it. They decide that they're going to go in the water, right? I had music coming from over here all of a sudden, right? They start hearing this music. And little do they know, there's five bullywug. Well, there's 10 bullywugs over here, and there's a froghemoth. And I kept telling them they're smelling rotten fish, right? You keep smelling rotten fish, and that's what kind of they were like, oh, I don't know about that. And once he threw the water or threw the rock in the water, I made the music start, right? So there's this bullywug on top of this boulder over here playing this music while these other bullywugs over here are kind of like chanting, making rivet sounds and smacking the butt of their spears on the ground, and you smell rotten fish. And one of the guys was like, what kind of music is it? And I'm like, it's this eerie Lovecraftian style music. So the Eladrin's like, yeah, I'll go and swim in there. So he sends his fairy dragon, and the Colossus has his pseudo dragon, and the Colossus casts light on a dagger, puts it in his mouth, and starts going forward. Right, like gets in the water with all his armor on, with his shield, everything. Yeah, I know. And so he like the Eladrin. I was gonna have him make 4 dexterity saves, right? The Eladrin had his fairy dragon use. It's not fairy fire. It's that one light spell. Anyways, I can't remember what it is. Oh god, I can't think off the top of my head. But anyways, he does that spell, and it lights up the way, and he can keep making the lights go farther and farther, and they get all the way to the end. Obviously, the big dude fails both saves right off the bat, right? And I had it to where instead of just having him drowned right there for failing the saves, being in armor and having a shield and being so big and all this stuff, I have him drop his shield. And the other player finally logs in, and he's a lizard man. I was like, great, right? Because now they're in the water, and I'm like, okay. He grabs onto you, and you swim, right? And right then when they get to the edge over here, pass through the cave, and it starts to open up, and it's all dark in there, and there's like this waterfall. The music stops, and I tell them, because the Eladrin's like all the way to the end, the other two guys are almost there, and all of a sudden I have them roll initiative, right? And the I don't remember who won initiative or what. I don't believe I used surprise. I don't think I did. I don't remember because I know he's got stealth. I think he's got like a +5, but I don't think he made the stealth check. I think I rolled for it, but I don't think he made it. Anyways, I think the initiative was bad is what happened. So anyways, I think the Froghemoth got the first attack. I don't remember correctly, but it got a hold of that Eladrin right away, right off the bat. Um, Grappled him right away, like it hit him. I think it's got like a +10 to hit, right? So it grabs a hold of him, it grapples him, it's shaking him up in the air. He has another attack. I think he grabs a hold of the grabbed a hold of the Colossus at that point. So he's got both of them. Uh, and I can't remember if he used the tongue attack right away on the Colossus. The Colossus actually, I think I did it against him because I thought he would make the strength save. He failed it. Yeah, it's a strength. I thought he would make it. He failed it. He got swallowed instantly. So all of a sudden they're like really fucked. Like before they can really even react or do anything, this Froghemoth had got a hold of him because of the rolls that had happened and everything, and just really had gotten a hold of him. Anyways, the next turn of the Froghemoth, uh, I think he got a hold of the Lizard Man, got him grappled too. So I thought for sure the Eladrin, right? 15th level player, right? He should have face stepped like out of that or whatever it's called. And I think he has a magic face step cloak. No, they didn't do that. He didn't do that. He um, stayed in his arm until he got out. I can't remember exactly how he got out, if he made the save or if he got swallowed. I think he got swallowed, and then he did enough damage on the inside of him with uh, a backstab or whatever it is, a sneak attack. Did a sneak attack, got a hold of him on the inside, and he spit him up. But I was doing max damage on this. Okay, I did max damage. I was tired of I was tired of how this game was going. I guess I don't know. They wanted to fight something big, and so I just did max damage, man. And I'll tell you what, man, it made a huge fucking difference. It made a huge difference. I mean, the battle was over. Uh, Man, I mean, we even talked for like, and usually the guys don't like to talk at them. We even talked at the end of this, and I'll go into that a little bit. But with max damage on this guy, yes, that worked good. Like if I feel like a battle is taking 2 fucking hours and shit anymore, I'm gonna use max damage. It's just the way it is. Uh, I mean, especially at 15th level. That's what I mean. Don't get me wrong. Like, if you're, I'm not going to do that like at lower level, right? But at 15th level, yes. Yes, right? I mean, you should be able to. Anyways, this thing should have never been able to get a hold of that fucking ladder. Should have been able to get a hold of him, and then he should have face stepped out, right? I even had given him a magic cloak to where he could face step. More than once a day and stuff. I mean, he could I don't remember how many times he could face step with that cloak that I'd given him, but I know it was at least twice. Plus, he's an Eladrin, so he could do it another time, and he didn't do it. He didn't do it. I was so surprised. So that was just a thing the player just didn't do, and I didn't help him. I didn't tell him. I didn't tell him, this is what you should do. Um, so was it mean to do max damage? No, I don't think so. This thing's a CR10, and it's fighting three CR15s, or I mean, level 15 characters that have been playing. One of them I know for sure has been playing for a year. Okay, he's still kind of a beginner in my opinion. The other two have been playing for like 3 years, so there's no excuse for the no face stepping. And once it got a hold of the wizard to the or I mean yeah the wizard has blink, and the wizard did use blink. I mean, he did, but it had gotten a hold of him a couple times before he realized to use blink, right? And by that time, I mean, he was hurting. So it was really cool, because the reason I want to talk about it is because I did kind of lure him with the music after he threw the rock in there, right? But it's because I didn't want them to die. I want to get that part clear. But at the same time, I wanted to use max damage because um, these battles at 15th level are just taking way too long. I mean, they're just taking way too long for these characters. I gave this guy full hit points, and according to my notes here, they got him down. I have 65 here, but I know they got him down a little bit lower than that. They actually had gotten him down a little bit lower than that. I was getting pretty low. I mean, that's like, in my opinion, one, what is it? Not back. I keep calling it backstab because I'm been looking at OSR stuff, but sneak attack, right? It's just basically the same thing, you guys. Anyways, one back sneak attack probably would have finished him off. Had they, I don't know, really kind of worked a little bit more together, I guess. Now, uh, that's something else I kind of want to touch on is like, um, this video is getting kind of long. It's already 25 minutes long, but kind of something I want to touch on is when the DM gives you stuff like a pseudo dragon or a fairy dragon, like the wizard had one, didn't use it at all. They have a ring of invisibility. They never use it. They had mad gold, never really used it. There's no way for them to use it really, which is kind of my fault too, right? You know, where they are and where they're stuck. I was allowing them to buy potions. They weren't really able to buy much else. Everything else was kind of provided for them. Uh, but anyways, uh, it was just the dice rolls. It came down to the dice rolls, and it really reminded me of kind of like an a traditional, more like old D&D because it's the Froghemoth, and I had the Bullywogs, right? I've never used either one of these. I wanted to use this guy the other night, but I couldn't find him because I like the Lovecraft style tentacles, and I just think it's cool. It reminds me of like the Hobbit, that thing that come out at the Lord of the Rings, you know, in the water when they're about to go in the uh, down into the mines of Moria or whatever. Anyways, so I thought for sure that they could beat this thing. I thought for sure. And like I said in prior, I didn't use the mass combat tactics either. I did give the Bullywugs a d6 for damage, right? And I didn't use max damage on them. It was just whatever they rolled. But they did have advantage a lot. Right as soon as this thing spit up the cleric, the Colossus or whatever, spit him up. He was prone, and those bullywugs can jump like 20 feet plus their movement or whatever, I think. And he's prone, so they had advantage. So they got on top of him real quick, just biting him because they had already thrown their spears. Then I kind of had the bullywugs kind of after they got a hold of his ass. I kind of had them running around, picking up their spears, and I think the wizard uh, tried to come over there and help him. I can't remember exactly. It's been a couple days now. It was on Friday, uh, and today's it's Monday morning. It's early Monday morning. But uh, anyways, it was a good battle. I thought for sure that they could win. I did not like him being stuck in the Froghemoth's stomach at the end, and it just like he's stuck in there where he's just supposed to keep rolling. I was like, no, you're dead. Um, what happened is the wizard was able to teleport back and forth from this place. So he grabs a hold of the Colossus, teleports back, and I had the werewolves totally had destroyed the whole like Fey kingdom where this Eladrin had been hiding. All of these like good Fey from the Underdark and stuff have been protecting them because they had warped back and forth to that place so many times. I really felt it appropriate. I really, as an ending, and I had been thinking about that after looking at Sandy Peterson's book and what is it, Dread or something like that he has in his book or whatever it is. When you see something shocking, I was like, what would be really shocking? So I had been thinking about that. How often they warp back and forth. They kept warping back and forth, and that's how the Drow knew. In that one last battle that I talked about, the Drow knew because they kept warping back and forth there. It was so obvious, you know. It's like, oh, we'll just wait here for them, right? I mean, Drow aren't stupid; they're not dumb, so they'll take tactical advantage if they can. If they can get the upper hand, they will. That's for sure. Anyways, so that's kind of what I wanted to talk about. It was really cool because it harkens back to like the Bullywugs and the Froghemoth, which is really cool. Like that's some old stuff right there, right? That's old. That's an old encounter. But I felt it appropriate, and at max damage, a CR10 with grapple, and what grapple does is it really freaks people out. I feel like they get paranoid because I've had it happen to me before as being a Shatterkai, and like right, all you got to do is fucking ghost. You just like face step or whatever it is. Uh, you can't do it as a reaction, but you can do it as an action, and so you can just face step like right out of that shit and just I even think face step's a bonus action if I remember correctly. But anyway, so that you could like face step out and then attack it, right? And that's player tactics. Like you got to be on your stuff. Like if you want to fight something that's CR10, and I kind of felt like it's beginning to get not fun at this level really. I don't want to say not fun. I just want to say like at level 1 and stuff, it's just so deadly in 5e. It really is. Level 1 is they can still do a lot, and it's kind of ridiculous how much they can do at level 1 in 5e, but um, they can still be taken out pretty easy in at those lower levels. So I feel it's fun. It's fun. They know it's death for sure. This here, they kind of like got all these tactics at this point. Um, you have to use this stuff when they're at lower level. I feel like for it to be fun, more, not more fun. That's the wrong term to use. To be like memorable, right? I don't know if I'm saying that right, but anyways, uh, this was a good fight. It just got lucky. I feel like it just got lucky. They really didn't know what to do when it pulled them underwater and kept going, and then it kind of came back and turned around. It did take damage for moving too, but with I feel like I don't know. They just got their asses kicked. They got their asses handed to them. Basically, is what happened. Um, So this is a cool monster. If you get a chance to use it, definitely use it. If you know about the tongue thing, comment below and let me know. Revered my buddy works. So yeah, I did like the encounter. It was fun. I guess I kind of leaded him that way because I wanted him to live. I have other big monsters that I want to throw at them that I want to use, but at the same time, I don't feel like they're having fun just getting their asses handed to them all the time either. They gotta take some stuff out here and there, um, but I kind of want to reset this group because people are not showing up. People are here and there. People are this and that. People are this, and I've got other people that want to play. Okay, I've got other people that want to play. People are asking me all the time to play. So I want to go back to a lower level. I want it to be like this group is going to be more experienced group. I want it to go back to okay, this is how this game's going to get run. It's going to be death at zero, and of course I'm probably going to be nice. I'll probably give them like one save. If you fail it, that's it. You're dead. Otherwise, you're unconscious. If you get hit, make another death save, something like that. Or if you take any more damage, once you get hit, once you make one death save and they stabilize you, if you get hit again, you are dead. There is no death save, so that will change the game some. Also, gold for XP, right? Because in this game, um, they were at such a high level and they had so much gold and they had so much shit that has no more meaning. There's 5 levels left. There's no way. That's not to say that that's not going to work at this level, but they've already got so much gold and everything. They're not going after gold. They were going after an item in this. And when they kind of just decided like, oh hey, we're going to go this other way, and it's just kind of like, oh, okay, go that way then. I don't care if you go that way. That's fine. Go that way. But At the same time, um, oh man, I don't know how I feel about it all. This was a cool ending, I feel like. And the one guy was really glad, the new guy was really glad that he was there at the end of it. My other friend, that's kind of here and there throughout this campaign, he wasn't really that solid of a player. He didn't really mind that much that it's over with. The other guy was kind of weird about it. Okay, he's like, "Oh well, I need a grid." I was like, you know what, dude, I don't really like putting a grid online. I have everything to do it. I have everything to do it. Um, it's just one more thing. It's just one more thing that I got to fuck with when I am doing all this other shit, right? So I don't really care to do it on the computer. I just don't. It's just one more thing. Plus, at this level, I mean, there were like 50 fucking kobolds in that place that I was talking about. Like 50 kobolds at a time, at least 50 kobolds, like minimum, right? And if you go and you look in this book, because I didn't have this book yet. That's exactly how you use kobold swarms. That's it. That's all they got. Like at one point in that, the player was like, "Can 20 dudes actually attack me in one turn?" I'm like, "Yes, they can." I'm like, pretty much rules is written. Yes, 20 dudes can attack you at one in one turn. Um, you get one attack of opportunity. Why do you need a grid for that? I don't understand why you need a grid for that. Plus, who puts 50 fucking tokens on a grid? Nobody. Nobody does that. Nobody. Matt Mercer, all the the best DMs, they don't do that. Okay, and some of those campaigns, Critical Role and that I mean, I think the first one went to level 20, but um, I think the other one went to level 15. So um, it's I don't know, man. It's hard to kill them. It's hard to make them scared. It really is. Like my one friend told me that he really seemed like he could die a couple times in this campaign, and that made me feel good because it's so hard to make people feel like that. I think in 5e, new people, yes, and even old people down at the first three levels and stuff, yes. But once they get up higher and they start strategizing and they kind of, I don't want to say metagame, but they kind of just have all these powers and stuff. Uh, it's kind of hard to make them scared, right? They're like, "Oh, I can do this, I can do that, I can do this. I got 3 death saves. I'm never gonna die," right? So there's that, and I don't really like that kind of game. I just don't like that kind of game where the person doesn't feel like there's any kind of threat. I'm just here to level up. I'm here to get all these powers. I look at my character sheet constantly. That's all I care about is the numbers. I want to count every fucking square. I want to, that's not the type of game I want to play. And in my first video, I'm not going to quit playing online, but I'm going to talk about the things I'm going to do for my in-person session, is what I meant to talk about. So, this video is getting pretty long. It's already almost 40 minutes. But I have a lot of mixed feelings about this in higher levels and the way this campaign was going. And there's other people playing other games, like the night before this one meets up, and I just started a group, and I run another group the night before, and I still show up. Haha, yeah, I'm the DM. But anyways, I just feel like this is kind of not going anywhere at level 15, right? To challenge them, you have to use a lot of dudes. Combat takes forever. They've been stuck in this one place. Finally, they decided to go somewhere, which was the wrong place to go. And I felt that this was an appropriate ending with purple worms, Fomorians, uh, you know, the bullywugs and the Froghemoth, and I've done spiders, I've done drow. I was gonna do the chitin. I think it's the chitin or the yeah. I was gonna do that, and be making them run in webs and all this other good shit. And I just decided, no, I don't want to do any of that because that's more like straight mob tactics, and I'm gonna have to get out the mob calculator and Yes, for you guys that want to know, with the 50 kobolds and that, I was using Sly Flourish, or I have another. I don't want to say better, but I have a another mass combat calculator that I use. That's even. It's more random. It's more randomized than the other one, which I like. Uh, but I want to get away from that. I want to get away from that. Like this shit where you hit a monster and it you have to keep track of like it's if it's got immunity to something. Which not to say that's not going to be the case in OSR or 1E or any of those older editions, but um, like the conditions in this are pretty. Ridiculous. Like I haven't gone all the way through the rules cyclopedia yet, but I don't know if it has conditions. I'm gonna have to look that up. You can make a comment below if you know about it, if it has conditions. But anyways, you got to keep track of conditions with mass combat. It's a pain in the ass. You got to keep track of their players' conditions because you can't count on players to even remember concentration. You really can't. You know, you can't count on them to do that when they've got all this shit that they're trying to remember. You know, they just got all this stuff. So how am I going to? What am I going to change about my game to fix a lot of these problems? Well, uh, I'm going to implement some things from older editions. XP for gold. Right? During this campaign, someone was like, why am I even in this dungeon? What am I even here for? It's like, I couldn't really answer that because you're playing D&D. I don't know, because you're here playing D&D in this fucking world that we decided to play in every weekend. I felt like I could never please that player. I don't know what it was. Uh, Also in 5e2, uh, when I first started playing it, I was like, I don't remember this. Where is this? I don't remember that. I don't remember this because I come from a long time ago. 3.5, I didn't really get to play that much. I have the books. I rolled up a lot of characters. I don't. I went to people. I tried to play. I tried to get together with people. It just never happened. So I never really played it very much. But 5e, I played a lot. Um, Now we have computers, we have internet, we have all this stuff. You know, we have Critical Role, we have all this stuff that's made it super popular. Also, looking at OSR and looking at some of the older editions, this edition kind of tries to make it simple like BX, but it fails miserably at the higher levels. I feel like, but I haven't played higher level BX yet, so I don't know. I don't know, but I believe like a dragon's a joke in 5e. Like you got to change all that shit. Like my dragon that they fought was invisible. It wasn't even a dragon. It was a drake. It was the drake from Kobold Press. The whatever the hell he's called, the Elder Shadow Drake, right? I took that Drake and I bumped it up to a CR 13, I think, something like that. I just looked in the DM guide and because the one in their book is not tough enough for this party. It's not going to do anything. So I bumped it up. Man, they didn't even hit that thing. Not even one time. Because it was invisible almost the whole time. I mean, that thing can be invisible like at will, pretty much. I mean, it can attack you. I believe it can attack you invisible, if I'm not mistaken. But anyways, I'm getting off subject. I'm losing my point. But I made that thing. Oh, what I'm trying to say is I made that thing deadly, right? I made that thing deadly. A dragon from, and that's like a drake. A dragon from here is like kind of a joke, man. From 5e, you've really got to change some of the things. You've got to. I mean, dude, the I used it several times. That roll on a 5 or 6 bullshit. That bullshit recharger. No, dude. I go back and look at BX or whatever, and the dragon can use its breath weapon a number amount of times per day, depending on how many hit dice it has. Right now, that's deadly. Right, a dragon's not going to go. I don't feel like using my breath weapon today because I don't have any power. No, those are the name is called Dungeons and Dragons. Okay, that should be like the staple most like getting XP for gold, right? Going to fight a dragon, that's when you're high fucking level, right? You're high level. You're going to get mad gold, right? You are already so high level that you need to go fight that thing because how else are you going to level up? Right, and that thing is so deadly that it can use its breath weapon like at a minimum of like 7, 8 times a day, like as a I think that's the lowest one. I think that's the lowest one in BX is like 7, 8 times a day can use it. Maybe I'm wrong. Again, you guys can comment in the bottom if you know. I don't have the PDF open in front of me, but that's deadly, right? That's something that's like a challenge, where it's going to more than likely wipe that party out in probably like 3 turns, right? 3 turns, it's probably going to wipe it out, if that, if it even takes that long to do it. So they're really going to have to strategize. They're really going to have to think about like, holy shit, maybe we've got to go um, to a hag. You know, maybe there's a hag and she knows how to defeat the dragon, right? Maybe we've got to start asking around town. Maybe we've got to go over here and talk to this village, or you know, they're not just going to go fight that thing, right? They're not just going to go, oh, I got all these powers now. Here you go, bonus action. You know, la 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 la. So that's kind of the style of game I want to get back to. The style of more like when we were a kid. Obviously, I don't want them to die. You know, I don't. I want them to earn it. I want them to feel like they earned it. I want them to be like, holy shit, I could die right now if I get the wrong dice roll. If we don't work together, you know. And I just don't want. I don't want to say lazy, but those people that just show up every week, they've got like a half character sheet filled out. They don't even know where their character sheet is. Like in this game, I didn't require character sheets. All my other games, I'm requiring character sheets. This new campaign, I want your character sheet. I'm not going to allow you to use or not roll 20, but D&D Beyond. Not that I have any problem with D&D Beyond. D&D Beyond is fine for people that have actually rolled up a character before, know the game, halfway know the way the math works, and just need to go, okay, I want to play tonight. Here's a one shot, boom, you know, or something like that. There's purposes for that, but I feel like it's it causes problems for new players. It creates laziness. Okay, just click, 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 click. They don't even know how to play the game. Just like click, 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 click. Oh, look, I got a cleric. They don't even know how to do anything. They haven't read anything. So I don't like that. Um, uh, so yeah, I'm not gonna allow that in my game. Um, I feel like D&D Beyond be cool. Like if you die in the middle of a session, you just go, okay, click, right? Okay, you guys run into this cleric now, right? Or you run into this drow now, and they're the person's not really attached to that character so much, but they got something to play, and they look at it and they fucking know right then and there, okay, I can jump right back into this game, right? And I can have fun. I can kind of like not worry so much about my character that just died and just kind of have fun tonight playing this character and then think about something after the session that I really want to play or keep this character if I like playing it, you know, something like that. That's cool, you know, that's cool. But yeah, I guess I'll talk for another 10 minutes. I wanted to talk about something but I forgot. Anyways, in this campaign too, oh, that's the thing I wanted to say, D&D Beyond, while I'm on to that, this campaign here, I was not allowing Toshas. I do not allow Toshas in my game, and I don't allow Von Richtens. That doesn't mean that you won't see the bad guys using that shit. My bad guys can use Von Richtens all day. They can use Toshas all they want. You guys can't. because it just creates problems. I feel like, for example, Von Richten's has got like this crazy background, right? And my one buddy that kind of was here and there, he doesn't really play that often. Um, has the same background as this other person that plays quite a bit, and I didn't know they had it. And I'm pretty sure I approved his, but I'm not sure if I approved hers. Anyways, they got kind of the same background or whatever the fuck it is. I don't remember. Anyways, um, it's not allowed. It's from Van Richten's, and they both use D and D Beyond. They both use D and D Beyond, and that's a problem, right? That's a problem. They don't know what book that's actually from. They just go, "Oh, click black background. I can use this," right? And it's totally from Von Richten's when I went and looked it up. So that's another thing I don't like about D&D Beyond is they don't really know what option that book comes from, I guess. I could be wrong about that, though. I could be wrong. Um, Death at Zero, right? Some form of it, kind of, definitely, yes. XP for gold. You definitely got to spend the money to get the XP. You got to throw a party. You got to buy a castle. You got to get followers. Do something. Get more torches. Get more shit. I don't know. Uh, Also with this game too, I asked everybody to send me their character sheets. The After that drow fight, nobody did it. Only certain people were RSVPing on the meetup. You know, I was having to remind people, and at that point, I'm not having fun, guys. Okay, I'm not having fun reminding you, hey, RSVP. You should want to play. You should show up. You shouldn't expect me to just call you. You know, all that stuff. I don't want to get into all that, but this campaign was just starting to fall apart. You know, it just was. And it was time. It was. And I felt that it was time. And I didn't facilitate it. It just kind of happened because of the dice rolls, which was nice. But I did like the bully bugs and the Froghemoth. That shit's dope. That shit's metal. But anyways, Death at Zero. Some form of it anyway. XP for gold, right? What else have I been thinking about? I should write some notes down. I don't have my Discord open, but Death at Zero, XP for gold. Oh, I'm thinking. Oh God, that magic weapon thing is just so annoying. Where like every monster is like, oh, if it's a magic weapon, it hurts it. No, I don't think so. I don't think I'm gonna do that anymore. I think everything will just be half, even if you have a magic weapon. Now, not that's not to say that I might do like it has to be a +2 weapon, maybe to do max damage against it or something like that. Just something better, man. Anyways, what was I looking at the other day? Or maybe it was this morning. The Black Hag. You make if it hits you with its claw, you make save versus death or something like that, or you die. Like, damn, that's brutal, right? That's just brutal. And the way kind of the challenge goes with that, so it was like it's hit dice is kind of what they compare, what you could compare CR to, I guess, kind of. I kind of made that distinction after looking at some of the older stuff uh, the other day. Um, but anyways, yeah, this is getting to be going on an hour long. I'll probably just make it an hour here and finish it up. But yeah, I just want more of an older style game. I want to use the newer stuff uh, because I don't think I'm going to be able. I don't know. I haven't asked them if they want to play OSR. I've asked some people if they want to meet up and just play old school twice. Traditional is what I'm calling it. Or retro. Have a retro night. Have a traditional night in person. So I'll be doing 3 games online. 2 of the games are bi-weekly. This is my weekly game. Um, and then do like twice a month where we just do like old school, retro, traditional. vintage, whatever the hell you want to call that shit, and meet up that way. Uh, but yeah, and then I'm letting these people know that want to play on Friday now that this is every week. It's a commitment when you say you're gonna when someone asks you or you say you want to play D&D, you kind of make a commitment. I mean, not kind of, you do. And you know, I understand that life happens. I really appreciate when people tell me when they're not going to be there and stuff, and just ghosting is the worst thing ever. But these two new groups that I've been doing, I'm trying to instill and foster in them that, you know, it's bi-weekly. It makes it a lot easier for them to want to show up every 2 weeks. But anyways, I'm getting off track. When you do a weekly, it's a commitment, and just keep that in mind. And yes, life does happen, but you're not just letting everybody else down at the table. I mean, you're letting yourself down too. So just keep that in mind. Um, if the game is going, if it's not going the way you want, which it shouldn't be going the way you want anyway. But if it's not the game, like not every game is for everybody. Death at Zero is not for everybody. Serious D&D is not for everybody. Like there's like I like to joke too. Like the lower level games, yes, joking around is so much fun. Even in this, there was one session I've never had so much fun. I think they were at 14th level or something. I never had so much fun. It was so good. It was so relaxed. It was so nice. But um, I'm letting everybody know, like for this session, this new one on Fridays, it's a commitment, right? I don't want to start playing and it's fucking the same two people every week and it's three different people every fucking week. I don't want to do that anymore. That's kind of why I was glad that this ended. It was nice. It was like, okay, fresh start, can implement some new things. Um, I've got some older style adventures that work for 5e2, which is really nice. And I can use any of that stuff. I can stop like trying to railroad people. If they go left, go left. I've got a little dungeon here. You know, you find this. Boom. Okay, this is what we're doing tonight. Boom. Okay, you go back to town. Something like that. You know. Yeah. So that's pretty much what I want to talk about. Um, I was really hoping for Morians or purple worms. You know. Obviously, they would have died. They didn't even make it out from the Froghemoth. But according to Sly Flourish and his calculations, and if you go by his encounter balance, which that's the oh yeah, fucking encounter balance. I guess that would be like the top three things. I'm glad I'm getting that in here the last like 3 minutes. Fucking counterbalance. I'm not doing that. That's the other thing for this game that I'm letting him. I should probably let him know. There's no encounter balance anymore. There's none of that. If I roll a random monster, that's the random monster. If there's something in that dungeon and you hear rumors about it and that's it, then that is it. I don't care about encounter balance anymore. It's not fun to do encounter balance, okay? I didn't say, hey, I want to do math to have fun. Anyways, that's the video. I'm gonna wrap it up. I'm Honeymaker. This is the Beehive. We talk about D&D 5e, old school, what you can do to make your game more deadly. I will be talking about some products. This is a pretty good product right here, the Bolos Guide, which I will probably be using when we restart because there's a lot of lower level stuff in here. Um, there's a CR4. So this damage resistance thing, man, bludgeoning, piercing, and slashing from non-magical. And this by level 4, man, they should have if they, you know, it's just ridiculous. By level 4, they should have at least one plus one sword. That's the way I feel. Like no one wants to play this game without magic items. They don't. Even the people that have been playing for a while. So, all right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up. I will see you sometime in the space future. in the space net, on the web, online. You know how we do it. Good night, good day, good morning, good afternoon. Happy Hanukkah. Bye.